talked about him a lot today already. Chuck is actually banned out, so Trev, I'm sure you're happy. We're now on the side of Reply Totem there with the first pick, so it makes a lot of sense that Pierce, for example, is also banned out for the side of Hmble. Also had some great showings. Angelo, we haven't seen him too often so far. He's especially good on Heist, on Safe Zone and Bridge Too Far because of all the water, so it makes sense that he's banned out once more, Kenny.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who we get as kind of those highest safe compressors. So obviously starting out with Kaze here. Chuck the Train Conductor is going to be gone, but Melody's still available, which is somebody who was quite popular yesterday, but also just in generally for scrims. It's a brawler option that's definitely risen through the ranks. It's gone up and down throughout our last few months. I feel like Melody by no means is an overpowered brawler, but certainly a good one to have in your kit.
Yeah, well, Crow is going to be the first then for Hmble. I like it. Obviously, you've got the capability. Well, you used to have more capability of shredding the safe, to be honest, but with the cracks coming in now every quarter, you can do that in one with this hypercharge, and it's very good. Kind of just like controlling, keeping people low, keeping people where you want them, and letting the main damage dealers kind of go in and do it. Then again, he's got the damage himself if he really wants to with this hyper.
Talking about damage dealers, I can't expect Carl to still come in here. We now have Byron, one of those long-range brawlers to just hold on to control in mid. Very important on Safe Zone. Maybe a Bell could do the same for Reply Totem, Kenny.
Curious to see what they do here, because Kaze is certainly somebody that relies on those walls. Somebody popular more recently has been Rico, who was even banned sometimes yesterday. Penny Gone is certainly a peculiar one, so I wonder if there's something that Reply Totem had in mind. Maybe it was the Kaze, maybe that Salty Barrel is just enough to take it down. Penny's not one that we see too much in terms of interactions with brawlers right now, because it's not popular. Bell, though, gonna be going for that bounce shot, especially into a matchup where so far Hmble really haven't shown any signs of aggression. You can kind of just win that long-range affair.
Yeah, I mean, I must say, I do like it. I do like it a lot. The bounces back and forward can be very solid as well. But I think, you know, you're going to be able to mark up possibly whatever Byron brings in, you know, and stop that healing the more aggressive unit, to be honest. So I think it's pretty solid. I do like it a lot. Bell, I think it's just one of the more versatile sharpshooters. You know, you're not out of the fight no matter what.
And there comes Cole. We do need some more damage on both of those sides. I was hoping for either Cold, Melody, or Spike. All three of those still left open. All three of those known for the massive amount of damage they can dish out. On the other side of Hmble, with that Byron, they could also go for a bit more aggression. Certainly, Melody would also profit from him, but maybe they're even gonna come in with a tank, Kenny.
I'd be curious to see if they do, because Byron certainly needs to help out with something. Otherwise, he's not going to be doing too much. Long-time duo coming in here of Byron and Melody. So there's that aggressive factor that they desperately needed. Crow's somebody that's going to be outranged a little bit by somebody like Colt and Bell. So they have to be able to get to the other end to get value. Like you said, Trav, Crow does a ton of high safe damage, but there is a hard threshold cap. You need to be careful about those timings, because otherwise you don't want to just do a couple damage with that high safe. You want to make sure that you're getting the full extent of that Crow super.
Absolutely, and it's usually a suicide as well. That's the thing, right? Yeah. So you're going in, you know you're going to be giving up control. It's a Hail Mary, or if you're trying to finish the game, get a crack. But you don't also want to just kind of do it, you know, multiple times throughout the game unless you're going to win it, because it can really be a big issue to lose that control on a map like Safe Zone. Melody starting up on the left-hand side. They managed to get a bit of a trade here, and Colt doing well. Not taking too much damage from the Crow, to be honest with you, and he gets a good 12% off the start.
Boss just circling around this bottom right-hand wall as Joker dashes to the left-hand side. Semantic battling in the long-ranged affair. Bell versus Byron. Gonna be backing off his boss, doing his best, but just countered.
Well, Colt back into this position on the right-hand side again. And Semantic going really aggressive, almost goes down here. Bell on the right. Going to be able to pick that one up as well. Good kill onto the Colt. And Crow trying to come up. Doesn't have a hypercharge just yet and shouldn't be too close to it, I wouldn't imagine either. Actually gets it now, will be going forwards. It's going to be a decent one. Get all of that crack down, and he hasn't even really suicide. He's going to do some decent damage to the Bell, maybe even get the kill afterwards as well. And there's the Fan Storm on safe down the bottom, which will get it down to 50. Beautiful stuff from Reply Totem so far.
Advantage Totem, significantly ahead of pace here. An entire 25%, most importantly, an entire layer of that heist safe. Luki has to back away, outranged by Colt. Colt's somebody we haven't seen a ton this weekend, but definitely a solid brawler. I think Heist going to arguably be his best game mode. He does DPS, he has range. Really excited to see what Mario can do with him.
Good pickup from Semantic and Boss there. Really nice work. And Maru's going to burn down thanks to Byron hitting that hyper charge and Lukey getting the killing blow. Nice heals onto Boss as well, trying to get him into a position where he can go in and get some damage and still stay alive. Hyper charge available now, going in. I think he hits about 47 bell mines on the way through, but still might be able to get this crack now. It's getting quite low, but Maru with a hyper charge here, Joker with one of his own as well. Jump comes forward from the Crow, and he does really well. Might even be able to pick up 2 and does. There's the 3rd. But the thing is, they're not going to get much back from this because they haven't got the crack prior.
Almost bizarre at how perfectly placed those nest eggs were, but now it's Maori having to play a strong defense. Hmble still profit out of the interaction as Joker moves his way up the middle of the map. Lukey, though, has no interest diving away, but with low HP, doesn't get too much value out of it. Joker finally falls. A couple bounce shots going down. Colt Super will pierce through that heist safe. Reply Totem take a thorough lead.
Yeah, good position for them now as well. If they go for a base race, they've already got the crack. They're going to be able to deal with it well. Nice slow there on the right-hand side, stopping Boss and a good kill as well. I don't think they're going to be able to get the damage now. Lukey looking for a super to be able to hypercharge. They need to not feed it. They're getting some, but I don't think it's going to be enough as they choose to stay back and not feed. Great start for Reply Totem against the Titans of Hmble.
It was back and forth through that game. I think that's something I'm expecting to see throughout this entire match. Reply Totem in the past couple years without Joker have not been nearly as good. Alongside Joker, back-to-back #2 seeds. When he left, desperately fighting just to make an LCQ spot. And of course, they've had fantastic postseason success, even a top 4 in the mix, which is definitely a ton of credit their way. But they want more. There's a comfort in that. So far, so good against the 2024 champs.
Maru getting pinched in. Didn't get too much back for that positioning, only 6%, so I don't think they're going to be too mad about that, letting that slide, but Boss getting some heals here against Joker. Really nice help from Semantic, but just chooses to go in now, waste a few dashes, try to cycle his super, and Joker actually switches forms and gets the Fan Storm off as well. Brilliant from him. Lukey popping a shield, getting some heals, Jump comes in, just overshoots it, and Colt will survive.
Awesome engagement for Joker to not only grab that kill and now another one on top of that, but get that Fan Storm down. That's something that's basically free damage for the side of Reply Totem. Joker oftentimes is going to be playing these aggressive brawlers, the Mortises of the world, the Kazes of the world like we're seeing here. They just keep doing damage. Lukey finally takes him down. Not a single scratch on that high safe, though, for Hmble. They're going to have to play the control game with Byron and Crow and then find a way to get Boss to engage with the high safe.
Yeah, this is the thing, though. Lukey, if he gets the super now, he'll be able to equal a score just with one jump, and he does get one. Here we go, going in. They need to try and stop him, but he should be able to land straight on it, but Joker's going to go the other way as well. Maru surely wants to meet him, and they didn't even get the crack. That's going to be really disappointing for Hmble, not getting it with that jump. Now, re-engaging with the safe, they should be able to get this down to 50% and pretty much make it a tie ball game.
It's crazy how a few seconds can make all the difference in a heist. They were losing every single battle leading up to that point in the game. All they need are a couple good moments, whether that be a Crow super or a Melody hypercharge, especially when you got 6 musical notes rotating around you, it adds up fast.
Well, Joker swaps forms again, trying to survive here. Wants to be able to avoid this splash from Semantic, but he's not going to be allowed. Nice stuff from Maru once more. They're in a 4% lead with 45 seconds left. He needs to try and heal here. Keep control, wait for his teammates to come up. Hypercharge used by Semantic, and he will get the super off as well. Jump from Lukey. They get the control, and now Boss going in, wants to get these notes circulating around him to try and get us down to 25%, and that they'll do.
Incredible team effort coming out of Hmble. Somehow Boss is still alive. The heals from Semantic certainly aiding the cause. As Lukey, top right-hand side, and have to deal with multiple brawlers. The longer Hmble can drag on the clock, the more impossible it is for Reply Totem to come back.
Yeah, this is going to be really tough now. Boss gets 1 and 2. The rest of Hmble join him on the safe and equalise the score here in safe zone, making it a 1-1. It's a very back and forward game. Totem have their moments, then Hmble do, but Hmble just had more in that one.
So you've seen 2 methods of how to win this game. Byron traditionally is not going to be somebody that's going to do great in heist, but it's who he's paired alongside. And for a long time, way back in my day, if you will, Colette was that option, Melody, of course, coming in here, and over the years, it's just the only way that you can make Byron work. Semantic doing a great job, I would say, in his own right. He's a support brawler in this instance. It really felt like he found a couple frags there, which is a little bonus. It's why Hmble were able to excel.
Yeah, well, one hit there from the Kaze is not going to be enough to stop what Melody's doing up top. He's going to get a good amount of damage, around 20%, really. Actually gets a little bit more than that. Joker has a Fan Storm now, but Mori not able to keep enough control to get him up free roam. He should be just throwing this on the safe and getting that extra little bit of chip damage.
Semantic now just has to fire, doing his best to just get kills, waiting for Boss so that they can make a proper push. Super in the back pocket. Boss a couple tags away from getting those musical notes. In, out. Still has 1 remaining. Now Lukey diving in, not for damage, but for kills. Interesting trade. It has to lead to Boss getting across to the other side of the map, and didn't quite do that.
There's the break of safe, and also the break of this right-hand side as Maru wants to take a bit more of a head-on, long-range matchup against Boss. Joker gets a nice kill there, might switch forms and get the super on safe, but doesn't manage to do that. Maru trying to establish some control, and they need a bit of damage here. He's going to get splashed out. Still a lot of time on the clock, but Joker coming back up with the Fanstorm now.
Colt injected with a lot of poison between Crow and Byron. It's going to be his demise. Plenty of time still on the clock. It's more of a matter of getting that total damage. And Boss, look at him go. Elected to go for damage. Again, Luki cycling in too. So a couple supers give Hmble a massive advantage.
Yeah, had that Hyper as well, but obviously with not 25% of the safe remaining, you don't have to use that Hyper charge to save it. Still 50 seconds left. You should be able to get another super in that time. Joker going forward. Splash comes on top of him. That should be... well, I was going to say a trade, but he didn't get that final shot off on Semantic. Nice work again from Hmble to just pin them back over and over, not letting them get these breakthroughs, and especially with the Colt.
Another instance where Semantic probably dies there. Joker didn't even make contact with the high save, so they didn't grab damage, they didn't grab the kill. That's a disaster. Now it's a 3v1 situation. Boss doesn't even have to worry about going in right now. Just maintain positioning. 30 seconds on the clock. They're well over a high safe zone in advance of the other side. Reply Totem, this might just be an impossible comeback.
Yeah, they can just keep control, not overstep, try keep them back, but Luki getting hit hard now, and Semantic having to force some heals. Joker coming up, trying to make the move, but Boss will go the other way as they don't have a crack in the way. Now it's 45% with 10 seconds. That's not going to be happening. Luki goes in for some shots, trying to get a super to deflate it. Does just that, and that's going to be the first set going Humble's way.
Competitive set, but got away from Reply Totem in game number 3. I loved how unique of a strategy that was. I mean, it's something in the older Brawl Stars day that we would see Byron plus an aggressive brawler. Right now it's Melody, could be Colette back in the day, like I mentioned. But the fact that they were able to grab so many kills, it felt like, with Byron, I'm interested to see how the stats play out, because I think he kind of went above and beyond. I think last year especially, somebody like Luki, I think, would have the argument to be player of the year. World Finals got second place, but I just think he's somebody I want to put the ball in his hands. That time, though, I feel like Semantic was doing a little bit of everything, empowering his teammates to go get that damage.
Yeah, absolutely. It was some really, really nice stuff there from Semantic especially, but all members of Hmble doing a great, great job. Luki knowing when to preserve his hyper charges, making the right jumps, getting kills, stopping people from coming up, and there you go. Even 19 kills as the healer. Huge, huge stuff from Semantic.
I'm thoroughly impressed with that result. I mean, especially on a team with Crow, Melody, and Byron, you know, it's not the damage to safe that I'm really looking for, but the DPS is quite telling. On top of that, he was distributing heals to somebody like Boss who needs those. Melody can be fine in heist on her own. Just somebody that can be lethal on that high save. But once you get the added benefit of having somebody who accurately is shooting you, injecting you with those healing shots, it goes a long distance. And I think it was just the extra little bit that overwhelmed Reply Totem. It's why they couldn't quite get there, but we're still strong.
Absolutely. I think Totem have more than got a chance to try and get some sets on the board here. Hmble not running away with it at all. Just the first set, and not a massively convincing one. Yes, they played well, but I don't think Reply Totem are out of this by any means. Solid, solid stuff from both sides. Good drafts, I think, both ways as well, but we're heading onto a little bit of knockout here as well, and we'll see if this changes the tides.
We're heading over to Knockout, to Bell's Rock more specifically, a map we haven't seen so far today. A map where we kind of expected Gus to come out, RT, Rico, some of those bowlers we've already talked about previously. But yeah, RT just especially good on any of those knockouts map because he's so strong both in the early game and then in late game when he has super available and the smoke comes in from the sides. Rico's going to be the first pick here for Hmble. I do love a Rico pick on Bell's Rock in mid. You have to break up the map almost if you play up against him, and Joker on that break could do that.
Rico Resurgence, and to your point, the Walking Cane, or if they really wanted to, a Grand Piano to cut things off just to make sure you get that guaranteed cut down of those walls. That makes sense to me. Now I'm curious of who they pair with this. Reply Totem grabbed the Gray. Sometimes you'll see this be an aggro brawler. Earlier today, we didn't. It was just Gray in its own right. So at least they have that guaranteed pressure with the Walking Cane if they really want it. If not, they can just grab some other brawlers they like.
Well, we talked about having a bit of a severe lack of Charlie, to be honest with you, and she's bouncing back again here in Bell's Rock. Spiderling's going to be pretty solid. I like the Rico on the other side, though, as well. I think it's a really, really good pick from Hmble. Very solid brawler at the moment, good on the map. Got to be cautious about kind of stepping out of line with Gray being able to TP and get you down with a couple of shots. But the Walking Cane's a bit of a lethal thing no matter who you're playing against.
Charlie comes in with her line calme-toi, and she wants to slow down this match a little bit in case Hmble wants to pick up anything with a bit more burst damage, anything aggressive, that Charlie is gonna take care of it. Gus is now being picked up from Hmble. The brawler I was kind of waiting for has the highest win rate on those Rock, just saying, and has not been banned out whatsoever. But now I really feel like they're gonna come in with something aggressive alongside the Gus. I feel will make a lot of sense.
I think somebody missing too is Gene. I think the reason why is yesterday when we saw this in East Asia, it was GG being drafted, banned a lot of the time, which kind of makes it awkward for somebody like Gene if you do have that as a factor. So I think that's why everybody's being a little bit cautious. RT just makes too much sense to me. I'm surprised it wasn't drafted earlier just because it's such a good defensive brawler in those in-game scenario. You drop the static, so if people are getting close to you, you have a way to deal with that. And on top of that, you're a long-range brawler in those early onsets of the game. Very well-rounded composition from Hmble. Not too much aggro, but I still like it.
Yeah, I think it's a really solid comp. As I say, RT's always just so versatile at the end of the day. You can pretty much play him in any situation in a map, or any map, on Knockout. Byron going to come in the other way, and that's going to be played against Hmble this time rather than Semantic championing that brawler very, very well like he did in the past one. Reply Totem, I think they've got a good chance here.
Italian Derby, so far the Hmble roster is coming out on top. I do not want to see another 3-0, so let's see if Reply Totem wins this set or the next one. No 3-0s, please.
I'm with you. I like Brawl. I like action. It's been a crazy year so far. Why not keep the party going? Reply Totem, Joker coming home. The prodigal son returns, and now he has to face down the 2025 runner-ups. Down 1-0. This team has been in some tough situations before, but to start out 2026, they've certainly got a battle ahead of them.
Well, it was a quick tap in there from Semantic as well. You can see Mary with the mark over his head and just trying to prevent Joker from getting these shots off, getting the walking canes, and need to evade him getting super as best as possible. And if he's going to super, you've got to make sure it's onto Semantic, so kind of flood around him towards the end. Well, there's the walking cane. No walls come down with it because it's through that unbreakable on the left. But Lukey falls low and has to back off.
It's going to be a back and forth on that right-hand side, too. If Maru has the Spiderlings, it's deadly, but Boss is too much of a factor up the middle of the map. Bounce shots were plenty. Now those Spiderlings going down, immediately eradicated. It's a lot easier for Hmble to deal with those now that they have multiple brawlers that can give aid to it. Boss cleaning up in the middle of the map. He wants a team wipe. Could be a perfect game for him. A Semantic going to rotate. Just play it safe. Maru doesn't have much of a chance here as a Charlie. No super available. I think Hmble are just being extra cautious to not feed anything.
Yeah, but it makes sense. You don't want someone out of the way in a cocoon towards the late game in a map like this. So, really nice start from Hmble there, very much in control of it. When you've got 3 players standing and the opponents have already lost, you know you're in a great position. I think it all stemmed from Boss getting that early kill, really nice super, just about getting the last bullet on Joker before he got around the wall.
The early kill was nice because it won them the round, and now on top of that, because Boss has landed so many shots being the player that he is, they have a super available. Lacking in utility, however, are Reply Totem. They just have one super to show for it on the top left-hand side. It's Lukey, one of the star players of last year in their 2024 run, battling against Maori. A little back and forth, each side not making a move. I think Hmble are confident in these in-game situations if this drags on.
Semantic has a super. Obviously, he's going to be the one who really wants a hypercharge of anything, but Boss has one of his own, which can really do some damage in these situations if he lines it up well. Byron just trying to find some shots onto Lukey, who's yet to find a super of his own. Can have the splash. Semantic still holding out on the right-hand side. It's a bit of a stalemate at the moment, but as the gas starts to close in, people are going to be forced to move. Lukey solo splash there, but completely missed.
Missed of a lob. Maori still with positioning on the left-hand side. Hmble hurdled together in the middle of the map. Now branching out. Semantic trying to win his one. One by Joker teleports in. He can get that kill. It's a trade on the right-hand side, though. Purple button pop. Super available. Contact with Semantic. A Boss. A menace in this set. Absolutely destroys Reply Totem, and they will take the game.
I mean, that was just beautiful from Boss. Gets the opening frag in the first, in the second, gets the 2 winning frags. Really, really good stuff from him. He just needs to carry on like that and get the second set on the board, Reply Totem. At that point, getting towards being down and out, 2-0 down against the 2025 World Champions, 2024 World Champions, 2025 runner-up. You're going to be in a tough spot to come back.
Doesn't look like any lane switches here either, so Reply Totem rolling the dice once again. They want Charlie with those Spiderlings to take on a single-shot brawler. That has to be either Gus or RT. I like their odds better if they go against RT. Unfortunately for them, Boss has just been too much of a factor, and now they have positioning. He can work with these walls, multiple angles to deal with. Maori does have a super available, but Gray just hasn't been able to do much. I think Joker's having a hard time right now.
Yeah, they're all being super cautious of the walking cane coming back and getting them. Maru eventually getting some ground on the right-hand side, but as Joker tries to get up, Boss is saying no to that, but He knows he has to respect it, back up. The Walking Cane is too potent in a match like this that it can really change everything. Still, stalemate at the moment, but few shots being hit by Semantic on the right.
Neither side willing to be aggressive, just calm patience. Any advantage they can gain, one super, two supers can make a difference, and especially in a round one, very difficult to get a hypercharge. This is where Totem feel like they have the advantage. Now they have pressure lined up. Couple tags with that hypercharge. The poison not enough though. Now poison on the outset gonna be rolling in.
Well, Boss has got a super. He's going to need a comparable one to win the last games. Luki trying to move in. TP available. Boss goes towards it. It's just all for the Gus, I think it is, coming out of the cocoon here. I don't think he's going to be able to win the 2v1 unless he's got a shield. Is he? Kooky Popper almost does it, to be honest, and desperately needed a shield, and I think he had it.
I think that was a closer call than it probably looked. It was a 2v1, however, 500 and about 1200 HP. You could see them rotate Brawlers, a really smart decision in case they did pop out. That way the higher HP Brawler at least had a better chance. Just intelligent stuff that makes separators from good and great. Reply Totem over the years have certainly been that.
Luki just playing against two on the right-hand side, and Boss, obviously, as I've said, doesn't want to overextend. Does. Gets hit, and the super is available for Joker, but he's lucky he's got Luki backing him up. He might even force Joker to TP out here. The heals are going to be there, though, from the Byron. He still throws the super down the side, and a few follow-up shots from Semantic aren't going to find the killing blow. TP now in, and a bouncy castle heal is there, but Byron trying to do the same. Maru pinching around the back. Boss going in, gets the kill. Hypercharge there, but not enough. Really, really nice from Hmble as they get that done. But look at the hypercharge ready to roll on Joker.
Joker definitely been better in game number 2 with a hypercharge super as well. He can get aggressive, almost shotgun his opponents if he gets any weakness on the other side. Little rotation here. Now Gus is operating against that right-hand side brawler, and Maru Semantic going to be battling against Maori, Joker, and Boss. That's been the battle to watch. There's Boss's advantage in game number 1, but right now, Joker is in complete control.
TP with the hypercharge there. Can't really go towards Luki. He's got his hypercharge himself. He's going to go on the left-hand side, get the RT. Great choice from him as well, and that still lingers there. Whether he uses the super or not, Splash comes in. Luki, cocooned. They're going to have to back off here, though, as they don't really want to risk getting hit by that hypercharge super. Boss coming in now. The TP's not going to be used by Joker. He's going to go down. 2 Kooky Poppers on the right, I believe it was, were not enough to bring Maru to his knees, and that's going to be an equalizer for Reply Totem.
It's another competitive set. It's interesting how every single game we're going to see the exact same 3 brawlers from both sides, and yet the outcome can be so different. I think a lot of good decisions there compared to the first. It felt like Joker was maybe a tad over-aggressive. Maybe, I don't want to say underestimating Boss. Joker's intelligent. He knows that Boss is an insanely good player, but I think maybe just a little overconfident in his ability. Boss was able to charge that super. Instead, though, it's Joker who is a key playmaker. Using those teleports to get aggressive, landed the Walking Cane in that closing round, and now he's the one taking advantage. Boss already has to burn a gadget.
Yeah, I mean, he gets the positioning off it, though. Joker going for another shot and does find it as well. The Spiderlings on the right-hand side push Luki all the way back to. Kooky Popper lays on the floor. Might use that to heal, get it out of the way so he doesn't want to gadget it later on. TP already available from Joker as well, and that's a big risk here for Hmble. But Semantic just covering Boss's tracks with those legs available.
Joker laying down the pressure, but doesn't want to overdo it. Learn from past rounds' mistakes. Has the teleport, so they feel like they have an advantage on either side. They can always make a moment's notice and jump away. Spiderlings allowing Maru to have a little extra space, but Luki still laying down fire.
Control back in the hands of Hmble now. Kooky Popper on the right side. TP goes in from Joker to try and get that kill. Will do just that. I don't think he's going to be able to get the TP out. Oh, Boss with a beautiful 2-piece. He can't get the TP in time. Doesn't get the heals. And Maori walks into the gas. Doesn't want to be feeding Boss again because we've seen what he can do with that.
Big bounce back from Boss. I mean, this has been a key player for Hmble. These Rico shots are unreal. It's a little more awkward now that that top right-hand wall on the Totem side is down. Boss, though, clearly showing he doesn't necessarily need it.
Well, Luki needs to be a bit more cautious. Did get picked off in that last one. Semantic still holding on to these legs, waiting for Joker to come towards him. He didn't really get within range of him last time, so there's something he needs to be a bit cautious about. I think there was another Kooky Popper on the left, on the right-hand side there from Luki, and positioning is insane from Hmble right now. I'd be very surprised if they lose this round, but Joker needs a hypercharge. He uses it, but he doesn't have a super yet.
Oh, I think he was counting on landing a shot. That's why he popped the hypercharge. I think he knew he had it. Instead, though, it's Boss backing away at a correct time. Now Semantic, Luki, and Boss all have supers in the back pocket. This is getting rather difficult for Reply Totem if this drags on.
It's going to be real tough. There's the gadget on the left-hand side as well from Mori, probably trying to reach towards his hypercharge. It can be dangerous, used aggressively in the last seconds. Luki going to want the hypercharge of his own. Surely should only be a couple more shots off after the rounds he's had. There's the walking cane, nice kill, but the bouncy castle and super coming through. Big hits and Joker TP's in. He's not going to get anything back from it, and the legs are dropped. Byron can't do anything, and that's going to be the second set going Hmble's way.
That round was all about Rico for me. Bell's Rock was great. I feel like all three members of Hmble have always had their moments, but so far in this match, it was Semantic that stood out for me in the first set, and now Boss has stepped up in the second. I'm anticipating a Luki go-around and maybe a killing spree here in the third. It just feels like he's due.
I mean, Semantic was very, very happy to have that on the board, and who can blame him being 2-0 up against Reply Totem? You don't want to be taking this one easy. You need to get these on the board, get them knocked out as soon as possible, and get your way to the grand finals.
For me, the MVP in this one definitely must be Boss. He had so many great showings here, bouncing those shots. Joker actually did a phenomenal job of still bringing himself into favorable positions. Definitely the playmaker for the side of Reply Totem. But Boss somehow, even if Joker killed one of his teammates, we see it here with Luki, kills another two on the other side, and all of a sudden Hmble are back in the driver's seat.
Just brilliant. I mean, showing the playmaking ability there, and obviously in a game mode like this, kills are quite literally all that matters. That is the name of the objective. Goodness gracious. A 13-piece for the young man. That's unbelievable. I mean, the DPS numbers are normal, but you could just see it. Those Rico supers, and especially the hypercharged ones, were just shots going everywhere. And now that Rico's in a better spot in the meta, I can't fault Hmble at all. They certainly made that pick count.
13 kills, and that's a knockout. Keep in mind, you can only get so many kills when your opponents don't respawn. So definitely a great showing from Hmble. 2-0 up now. It does go the way we expected, or at least what we predicted. Apart from Ark, actually, I do want to point that out real quick. But yeah, Hmble is looking as strong as they've left off last year. Now, as I said, I do not want to see a 3-0, so Pinhole Punch surely is going to go the way for Reply Totem now, Trev.
Yeah, we can only hope it's not a 3-0, because these two teams are much more evenly matched than that scoreline let's show. But Spike's going to be the first pick. It's a good one from Reply Totem. It's been banned out quite a lot over these kind of past couple of days. And Frank going to be banned out. Poco and Pierce as well. Ems, Pierce and Poco on the other side. So nobody wants to see the Pierce and Poco. And the Ems and Frank are the differentiating bans from the side of Hmble and Reply Totem. The Spike, as I said, I like it. It's just so versatile and it's been picked up so much.
So now that Spike's out of the way, I'm looking out for two assassins. I'm looking out for Ali, and I'm looking out for Mortis. They escaped the ban stage due to double of Poco and Pierce. So in this one, there's only 4 brawlers total. Now, Hmble are going to start with going the brawler. That's good for multiple reasons on this map. Vision is one. Being anti-tank, however, is the other. And a fat splatter, especially into something like Spike that might be running Life Plant, that's a way to destroy that from a long distance.
The moment you said you're looking out for 2 assassins, I thought Otis. And there he was. Otis picked up here by Hmble. I'm still looking out for Mo and Meeple personally. Super good on this map, especially with mentions of Meeple that gets it, that just shuts your opponent down for a couple of seconds, gives you the free roam in mid. And on map like Pinhole Punt, it's all about that mid control. Mina's going to be picked up instead. They do bring in one of these aggressive brawlers that Kenny was looking out for, Trev.
Yeah, Mina I really like. We've seen, I think it was Angel Boy on it for the most part, playing an incredible Mina. So that's something that Reply Totem are going to have to be very cautious about. I think supers, the hypercharges, the gadget, and the mobility that this brawler has, it's just insane. And it makes it so fluid in Brawl Ball. You're able to do pretty much everything.
Absolutely love it. Can't complain with that 2-3 turn. I think Mina's one of the better brawlers in the game right now, top 5 in my books. And there's the Meeple that Sunny was looking out for. I think it's a natural mid on this map, especially with the cutoff that you can gain, the area control that you immediately get, and more importantly, the area denial from the other team to march forward. That's what Meeple brings to the table. Kenji's been somebody that teams are kind of divided on around the world. I would see some teams really like it, and others don't prioritize it as much.
Kenji is going to be the last pick for Reply Totem, so we have some aggression on either side. Hmble is still missing some range. Maybe a Crow, maybe a Finks, a Bee, something that I would see Luki on here, Trev.
Yeah, well, there's the Crow. You seem to be very good at this today, Sonny, I won't lie.
If anybody needs some a coach for the next few weeks or some drafting advice for your ranked matches, I'm available.
I'll take the drafting advice, I think. My ranked drafting is really not that special. So, yeah, Crow, very good, very solid at going to be able to scout out. There's a lot of bush. I think it's a great shout from Hmble. So, I like the comp. I think Reply Totem really, I mean, obviously they need this set, but desperately got to get back in it 3 in a row. A reverse sweep needed against a titan like Hmble is going to be a very big ask.
Reverse sweep is the only answer. Otherwise, it's going to be Joker and his new old teammates gonna be sent home. This Joker gonna be the playmaker now. He's on the Kenji, boss up the middle of the map, rocking the Mina. There's the Crow Luki that we were looking out for. So far, it's the blue side. Complete control. One thing about Hmble, they are not afraid to be what I'll call passive-aggressive playstyle. I think they're experts at it. They're never going to push too far. They only take chances when they know it. Otherwise, they're just going to rely on winning their lanes.
Well, the Meeple's Mansion back down on the field again. Going to break up a bit of that bush as well, which I'm sure they'll be pretty pleased about with Mina running rampant. But Joker now lost that kind of ability to sneak through. Boss supering in here as well. Not going to be able to... Sorry, Joker was supering in, and Boss did a great job of just walking that up and finishing the goal off. Incredible stuff. And Totem falling further behind now.
Fat Splatter cuts off the right-hand side as Spike uses his super. Maru trying to do his best in all this. Luki, though, goes hunting. Maru meets him, though. Semantic with the super. If he needs to mute, he can. He's just trying to absorb as many shots as possible and buying time for the respawn from his teammate.
Yeah, the thing is they need more than just control now, though, with Hmble having the lead. Boss going to be able to dash away from that Meeple's Mansion. Super and Hypercharge comes in from Maru. Life Plant in the way, and Joker will just trooper forwards and take Luki down. This might be the opportunity to get a goal that they so desperately need. A minute and 15, so still time on the clock. But so far, Hmble looking really solid.
Totem surging, Hmble being stuffed in their spawn right now as Luki knows he has to grab this ball. Otherwise, Totem are just going to keep marching forward. Luki expanding, Hypercharge goes down. Mina with a twister, Maru in trouble, and all of a sudden, it's numbers for Hmble. A kick over to the right-hand side. They're relying on the Hypercharge stats to sprint up the right-hand end. Oh, it was so close. Worth a try from Semantic for sure, but better than being on defense.
I love the fact how much Joker had, like, so much faith in that not going in. He had a Hypercharge super, could have dragged him off the ball, but instead knew his teammates were going to be in a good spot. And now he can use it in a position like this, just Luki alive, and that's surely going to be a walk for Joker. And they actually don't even need to walk it, get the kill and shoot that ball in.
30 on the clock, and it's 1-1 each. If this gets to overtime, it's going to be a much more interesting affair, especially for somebody like Meeple and Kenji, who do not love the open space. Semantic being backed down for now by a Spike super. Luki cautiously dodging. Has a super if they need to make a move. The Meeple Mansion will certainly make this a little more awkward as now he drops a Hypercharge super. Boss doing his best. Does make the connection somehow, but it's positioning for Joker. He's marching forward. Luki grabs the ball. Hypercharge available. He's going to jump right at Spike. Life Plant is available. It's a trade, and now in the 2v1, Semantic hustling up the map, has a super shot available. Lone shot for Maori, a gadget from Boss. Should secure it, but a gadget, even better. A defensive stop, and now Joker can move it the other way.
I mean, that was so difficult to really do anything about. They just a great defense. Maru coming forwards, goes for the shot and can't find it. Meeple once more in a 1v2 situation. Can Hmble push it in this time? With the help of Reply Totem respawning, it's going to be a no for now.
I think I've gone 3 different ways on who's going to win this game because there's been so many close calls, and now a complete demolishment of that middle side. They have a super on the ground as well, so Boss can't cling to those walls anymore. He just has to do his best. A wind shield going up. It'll allow Hmble to slowly climb up as Joker's debating what to do with this ball. 15 on the clock, gonna be pocketing it. Life Plant there to shield him. Semantic runs it down. Luki fanning out daggers. They're now marching up the map. Super shot over a clearance from Boss. Brings the entire Reply Totem roster into the air and will give them a match point.
Yeah, Maori almost had that stopped again with the Mansion of Meeple. Just unfortunately the wrong side of the line, and the ball still rolls in. So really solid from Hmble once more. Match point now against a team like Reply Totem, who we've seen throughout these sets are so capable of getting it done and getting to the later stages of these multi-finals. But it's just not to be at the moment with Hmble being as strong as they are.
Double gadget on the left-hand side, but it's Totem extending. Luki in control as Maru has to back off. It's been back and forth the whole way, but it's a middle of the map where the action's happening. A kick forward. It's going to dump it right into Reply Totem's hands. I think maybe trying to keep that ball would have been a little bit better, but it looks like they were going to die either way.
Well, Luki still super in hand, but actually going to go down regardless of popping a shield up there as well. Joker trying to come aggressive, but surely will be dealt with here by Boss. Little wait as that last shot came out as part of the combo. Maru trying to push into this mid, get some control for his team, but it's just endless Hmble kills in the kill feed, and Totem back in spawn.
Joker with a super available. Can dive on anybody if he needs it. I'm more importantly looking at this Boss super, though. Can bring anybody up into the sky. Could lead to a goal-scoring opportunity, especially with Luki clearing this left-hand side. Maru is in an awkward position. Crow looking on the deep end of the pool as Boss marches up the middle of the map to get a takedown super available. Oh, it was so close. Maori just in perfect positioning.
I mean, that was like It was a wild thing to do, but it so almost paid off. Just knew that his super wasn't going to be enough, considering he still had that invulnerability, so needed to beat him another way. But unfortunately, a trick shot was not the one to do. Now, as they start to come in, Maru trying to get behind this life plant, get a heal off it before he goes down, but he can't, it doesn't pop. And Luki surely aware to the fact that he was stood there just lingering, waiting for it. Hypercharge ready for boss, and 3v1 gives Hmble the control.
Definitely an opportunity here, especially with a hypercharge, Mina super and a hypercharge in Otis's back pocket as well. Fat splatter on the right-hand side as Maru charges up a super of his own. They have to be perfect, fighting for their tournament lives right now. Any slip-up could cost them this match.
Yeah, well, a life plant used on the bottom side as well. As that mute straight into it, the super comes backwards, and Luki forced to jump away. I don't think he's going to escape that super from Joker. And this is going to be controlled to Reply Totem, giving themselves a lifeline. 30 seconds on the clock, hypercharge used, and he throws it down on the perfect walls.
Maori has access to go through those walls now, and now with Kenji diving in, no connection, but it won't matter. Luki left all alone, overwhelmed by the Reply Totem forces. They shave off as much time as they can before putting that one in. All they have left is the 15-second shot clock.
Need to make something happen now. Hmble pushing forward, super onto the top of Semantic. He knows who's going to try and make this play. It's got to be Boss. Joker gets the ball and gets it out, and 3 seconds with a Meeple's Mansion cutting it off. That's going to be an equalizer and brawl ball for Reply Totem. It remains match point to Hmble, but it gives them a lifeline.
If I'm Hmble, I want to end this right here, right now. Reply Totem show that they can be a dangerous team, extending to a set 4, especially after the chaos we've seen this weekend. Just feels like a good call. Easier said than done, of course. But this has been close the whole way through. 3-0 would feel almost wrong. So don't let the scorecard fool you, folks. Reply Totem are here to play. They're certainly going to keep fighting.
Absolutely have been playing as well. Boss waiting in the bushes. Not been scouted out just yet, avoiding the curveball well, but chooses to swap, let Semantic go through into Maru here. Going to be able to do a decent job at range against him, but Boss can eat a few of these Maori shots and still get into his face. Luki on the left-hand side, trying to get some control as Toad just sits in the back spawn again. It seems to be where they've been for the most part.
Hmble with early dominance. Controlling the middle of the map allows them to put some extra pressure because now Boss is flanking a hyper-aggressive brawler. Now up in the face of Maru, who does have a super, just going to drop it. Has to play it safe. Needs to allow for his teammates time to respond. They're losing the numbers game, so they have to just occupy as much time as possible with a light plant forward. It's giving them a little extra space to work with.
Yeah, well, the windmill down there from Boss actually stops a few shots and allows Luki to get the kill onto Joker. But Hmble back in spawn, not a position where they want to be, and Semantic getting hit hard by that shot from Maori. Maru backed up, Joker just always running in over and over and over again into the fray, getting some good heals off the back of his shots, and his gadget will eventually go down, and Luki has hypercharge ready to roll, just waiting for the super.
If you're going to dive bomb it, you have to have some kills to show for it. Hmble did not lose a single member as now Boss grabs this ball, going to back it up. Joker right back into the fray. A jump into the air. Gets one with his Shusimi slash, but not enough for a double as Semantic will drop a gadget. Trying to cut off Meeple. Has a super. And the Mansion on the left-hand end will buy them a little extra time, and more importantly, give them some vision of that grass.
Oh, Luki's going forward, trying for the goal, gets a kill, might be able to ward this one. Luki just about gonna miss that one, and Joker with a great save. Boss on the right-hand side, hypercharge available, and that can be huge in these overtime scenarios, but it's still 45 seconds to get there, and Hmble not taking advantage of these opportunities.
Tough prediction play coming out of Luki. There was a possibility that could have been a goal. Instead, now he's on his back heel, diving once again. Joker can't grab the ball. Numbers advantage for the blue side. And as a result, they have to exhaust this super. Semantic gonna round out this roster with all 3 members in the middle, especially with this clock whittling down. It's advantage Hmble.
Boss desperately wanting a super here to go along with his hypercharge when it comes to overtime. Got that now. If they can just wait 15 seconds, this is surely going to be a Hmble win. He's going to go for it instead. Windmill in the right-hand corner. And Luki just pushing forward, has to jump over it. And the Meeple's Mansion there to block the pass. Totem doing everything they can. Mauri's going to survive. 4 seconds on the clock, and they hold on.
Somehow, some way, Reply Totem surviving as long as they can. Surviving not good enough though. Hmble, cold-blooded killers as Semantic marches one in. Right back to their 2025 glory. It's gonna be our 2025 runner-ups, making it to a grand finals.
What a moment for them. Honestly, I thought that Reply Totem were going to hold out, maybe push back, try and make something happen. I was expecting him to, you know, just hold off on that hypercharge until overtime where he was pretty much guaranteed to get some work done. But he did throw it out quite early, and clearly it worked, especially with Luki jumping in with the hypercharge there. It was really, really solid as well at the end of the game. Just knowing that if they went to stop the ball, all of those Crow Daggers were going to be returning to that spot.
Some great showings for both sides here. Phenomenal comps as well as gameplay overall, but still, it's a 3-0 in the end for Hmble. I feel like that really doesn't reflect how close this really was. Reply Totem takes a game here also in the last set and ends up 3-0. It's honestly a bit devastating, but Hmble comes out on top. 3-0 sweep all the way.
Crazy stuff. Very impressive showing for Hmble. They're going to have their hands full in this grand finals. But just love how each member was kind of just doing their part. And I think there's no weak links with this roster. That's why they've been able to be the most consistent team over the past couple years. I told you Luki was due. 17 kills, 312 DPS as a Crow. The other team members rounding it out with all of the goals. Overall, it was one that separated this set. Totem kept it close. It's still a good showing for them, I think, especially for a roster that's now playing against one of the top dogs from